Hi, everybody. Welcome to
Hey,
Knitty
everyone.
Knotty Podcast, episode 22. I'm Vanessa, Knitty Witch on Instagram and Ravelry.
I'm Diane Lancier. I am the Knotted Bag on Etsy, on Instagram, and now on Ravelry. I changed. I don't know why it took me so long to do it. It never occurred to me to do it, but yes, now I am the Knotted Bag everywhere. Even though I haven't made a knotted bag in a while. Maybe I might in the next few weeks since we're stuck home. But anyway.
Yeah.
So we haven't recorded in a while. We're recording this on Sunday, March 15th. So this is kind of, we were just talking about this before starting to record, that this is the sort of the beginning of our self-isolation. Oh, I lost you.
Hold on.
Yeah, there we go.
Sorry, my mom called.
Oh, so I might get on
the... gonna call back just so because I hung up on her. It's probably gonna call back.
It's okay. And yeah, so anyway, I may make some bags over the next
told you.
Yeah, it's okay. Do you need to?
I'm gonna message her.
All right, I'll just have coffee.
There we go. I said, sorry, I can't talk right now. That was one of my pre-inputted messages.
That's good. Yeah, so anyway, I might make some bags, but I'm also thinking, like, even though I'm working from home, how many sweaters can I knit in the next I'm ready.
My mom, when she was here, because we talked about she visited, she gave me the business about not knitting her a sweater yet.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, she was like, I'm your mother, and I think I deserve a sweater.
But didn't you have a sweater at one point that was the color you said you wouldn't wear, and I thought you said you might give it to her?
Yes,
am I wrong?
It's the Matheny Cardigan, and it has to be sewn together, which I have. It's been so long since I touched that sweater that I'm like afraid to touch it because I don't know where I was.
But the great thing is it's already knitted, so all you have to do is sew it together, and you can give it to her at Christmas. Boom, done.
Yeah, that's what I plan to do by Christmas. But the thing is, I have very little experience with seaming. So I need to, like, when I'm ready to do it, because right now I'm not ready because I'm working on the other cardigan. But when I'm ready, I'm going to have to, like, YouTube tutorials.
Why don't we work on it when I go see you when I go see you from MDSW, which will not be canceled. I'm just like, we're going. So when we go to MDSW, why don't we could work on it?
Yeah, absolutely. I hope they don't cancel it. Like, don't do this to the knitters.
Listen, if we don't go to MDSW, we're definitely on for Rhinebeck. That is for sure then. Yeah.
Yes, I already have money saved for Maryland. So I'm like, oh my God.
It's okay.
Give me a second. I'm just going to let it like run. So you can still hear me, right?
Yeah, I can still hear you totally.
Okay, I'm just going to let this run because if I hit the decline button.
Yeah, she keeps calling back.
Does anyone else's mother do that? Do they just keep calling back when you don't answer? Or is that just mine?
She might be worried that you've turned into a zombie.
No, she's not worried because she does this to me all the time. She's basically, she's like, what do you mean you're not going to answer my phone call? I'm just going to keep calling you till you answer my phone call. That's my mom. anyways, so
all right, so when we see each other we can work on it. I hate sewing pieces together. I've not done, like, everything I do now is like top down, easy peasy, but I know it's not fun and you have to really but once you get into the groove of it, it's just a matter of we'll figure it out. All right, so I have a lot because we recorded like several weeks ago. I've been spinning like a mofo. Like, spinning is my jam right now. So I have some I have a sweater that I'm wearing. I have yarn that's done. I have some whips. So
all right, well, let me start with the one thing I have so I can
I have one little purchase.
We'll talk about the purchase later because I have a purchase too. All right, so I am working on the Pomme de Pin cardigan by Amy Christophers. I have to say that we talked about how this wasn't the best cardigan for a beginning knitter.
Yeah.
I agree with that. I feel like maybe I was a little harsh on the pattern.
You agree with yourself?
Maybe I was a little bit harsh on the pattern because I struggled with it so much when I did it the first time.
Yeah.
But now that I'm knitting it the second time and I'm more experienced with lace and different things like that, I'm seeing how easy it is to read your knitting.
Right.
Like the pattern is so easy that, let me see if I can hold this up. Where are we at? I can't see where you see it. Can you see or you see holes?
No, I see it. Well, I mean,
Okay,
I see
so there's
knitting,
there's
but I
this
see
holy pattern right here, and
Yeah.
then on top of it is like a leaf pattern, and it
Yeah.
alternates, and it's like 5 rows of this, 5 rows of this. And
Right.
now I can tell that when I start decreasing in lace, I'll be able to make the right decision on which stitches to take away because I can already read it, making it way easier than I knit it the first time. Because the first time
problem is, the problem remains, or the issue is still that, if I remember
it should have
correctly,
been done.
the pattern doesn't say how to decrease or where to decrease. Yeah.
Right, but that's why I'm saying I feel like, I don't know, that it should have, I feel like it's intermediate, but it's a little more than intermediate. It's not advanced by any means, but I wouldn't call this, I would suggest this pattern if you've been knitting for a little bit.
Right.
But here I am.
This
is where I'm at. This is the bottom, it's bottom up. So I'm knitting to, the pattern suggested like 17 inches. I think I'm going to knit to like 17 and a half because I want it to like cover half of my butt because that's how I like my sweaters. So I'm still working on that. And I got my little Slip Stitch Studios unicorn yarn holder, and then Slip Stitch still my little other yarn holder to hold. And this is where I'm at for the first set of skeins.
So you're knitting up to the armpit, I guess? You're knitting straight.
Yeah, you're knitting to here, down here, up to here.
Okay.
And then it splits. Lots of sewing together. So I'll be getting some training, I should say, some experience trying to sew this thing together too. So maybe once I sew this one together.
What do you have to sew together? The shoulders?
It has a neck piece, so you have to, it's set in sleeves. So you have to seam the sleeves in, like you need a sleeve cap and the sleeve, and you got to sew the cap in. And then the bottom, there's like this big neck. So you have to sew the neck piece down to the sweater.
Oh, you sew the neck separately. I mean, you knit the neck separately. It's not picked up.
Well, you knit the neck, like you knit it, you come up and you knit it, but you're leaving like a gap. So like it's still attached and it's coming around your neck, but you have to sew it down. So, you know.
You're a brave woman. I probably would have done that. Like when we talked about this before, when I was like in high school, I knitted stuff that I would never even try now, I think, just because back then there was no Ravelry, we didn't have the internet. I just went to Michael's, bought patterns and knitted stuff. And I remember making this like big cardigan, like zippered cardigan. Did I even put zippers in it? I might have put a zipper. I don't know. I would never, I don't think I'd want to do it now. But I remember it was like an intarsia thing, like a big sort of shawl collared cardigan with like these horses on it. It was just crazy. And I knotted. I didn't even know how to like weave my ends in. I just like put knots everywhere. It was crazy. I made like a white turtleneck. Made a turtleneck with white cotton. It was brutal. Like it was a great sweater.
Yeah.
But after washing it once, I was like, I'm not, first of all, it got dirty so quickly, right? Because it was white cotton. And then I would wash it, like I stuck it in the washer, which was fine, but it was so heavy, wet. It was, anyway.
Cotton's probably not the best. Not all cotton. It becomes very misshapen once you wash it. It's like you almost need to block it every time you wash it.
Yeah, and I mean, back then I didn't know anything about blocking. It was more the aspect of it being so heavy that, and anyway.
I hate blocking. My least favorite thing to do.
Blocking sweaters is hard.
I'm so lazy with my sweaters. Like, I literally just throw them in the sink, rinse them up, squeeze them out, and lay it flat and pin it so that it looks the way I look.
Same, because I don't know how else, like, so this is a finished object. This is the Chaika, Chaika. And I had this yarn here. Did I put it? Oh, I put it away. I had spun this ages ago and made a shawl, and then I took it apart because I never wore not a shawl, but this cowl. I don't wear cowls. I love the yarn so much that I just wanted to repurpose it like into something I would wear. And when I came across this pattern, I thought, oh, this is great. Like, I like I wish I could find the front page so I could show you. There we go. Let me see if I can show you. It's black and white because I printed it out, but it's this really nice sweater that has different options for the sleeves. It's not a shape that I'm used to wearing. Like, it's very, it's like a bat wing kind of thing.
Yeah.
And it's shorter than what I would normally wear. Like, it definitely need a t-shirt.
It's
like
crop top.
Yeah. So I normally wouldn't wear this. Like, I probably would not buy this at the store. Having said that, I like it.
I like it too. I'm just not into crop tops. Like, I want the other half of my shirt.
Absolutely, me too.
But it looks so cute. Like, so, excuse me, allergies, not coronavirus.
I saw a meme the other day about like something to the store saying, hey, like, there's a big many of us women want the rest of our shirt. We're not.
Yeah, I saw that too.
But anyway, I basically, since we've last spoke, I think maybe I had started spinning. I went through all of these art bats that I had from this lady who's more local to me and had them for years and years and years. And I basically put them together and I spun all of the rest of the sweater. So this only used up a bit of what I already had. And then the rest of it is all like, I spun worsted. Remember how I was talking about spinning, like purposefully spinning worsted? So this is what it ended up. I think I ended up a bit more on the bulky than worsted side, but it worked because this sweater is knit in a really loose, it's knit on, yeah, like it makes a loose fabric. It's 6 millimeters, and yeah, so US 10, US 8. The body's on a US 10, which is 6 millimeters. With worsted, it creates like a loose fabric. So I wasn't too worried about it being, like, it is a little bit denser, but yeah, so I did the body, and then I was like, oh, I need more yarn. So I spun more for the sleeves. So it was really, yeah, I like how bright it, I don't think the camera really picks up how it's very sparkly. There's a lot of stellina in it.
I love stellina.
Yeah. So I really liked the pattern so much that I ended up casting on a second one, a Chaika. Ooh. Yeah. Chaika, I don't know how to say it. With yarn that I've had again for years and years and years, and I didn't know, I bought this yarn on Etsy by a dyer who went out of business very suddenly. And this was back when I didn't really know the quantities that I should be buying. Do you know what I mean? So I didn't really have enough for a sweater, which is kind of weird. This is worsted, but it's a light worsted, I think. So I have like,
oh my God, you're like, so I started another sweater and here it is.
But this is a really fast knit. I'm not like this.
Yeah, obviously.
Super fast knit. I was just excited to find something that I could actually use this yarn for, because I was starting to feel like, what am I ever going to make with this? Because I have 3 skeins of the gray, and then I have like,
gray. I went black, didn't I?
It's fine.
Okay, you keep talking.
So I have 3 skeins of the gray, and then I have like 2 skeins of this gray with yellow in it. And then I have like one random that has like more oranges in it. I don't know what I was thinking. I think I had a 4th skein of the gray, but I gave it to Seth and he destroyed it like years ago because I was like, man, this yarn, I don't know what to do with it. So anyway, I decided to use it for this. So the collar, I'm using the yellow. The body and the sleeves will be, I have enough with the 3 skeins. This is what I like about the sweater. It only takes about, well, for my size, like the small medium, the smallest size, only takes about like 800, 900 yards of worsted, which is normally like, you need like a good 2,000 yards for a sweater, right?
Yeah. Well, I always think 10 skeins of like worsted.
Yeah, exactly. So that's why this is so cool. I am going to make it longer though. I'm going to do the long sleeves. See, I kind of shortchanged myself with the sleeves because you know you get anxious to just be done.
Yeah. And you're like, no, it's long enough.
Yeah, it's long enough. And then you put it on and it's like over here. No.
Yeah.
So yeah, so this is just like an easy knit. Once you get past the collar and stuff like that, it's a well-written pattern. Yeah, I like it.
I like it too. It came out really nice.
Yeah.
Now the yarn that, because my mother interrupted me again
Yeah.
with, Nessa, are you okay? I'm like, Jesus, Mom, like I'm 37 years old. If I can't answer my phone for once, I can't answer my phone, man. Leave me alone. So I texted her. I'm like, I'm in the middle of something. But I missed, did you say that the yarn on the other sweater is hand spun or no?
No, the gray one?
Yeah. No.
It's
okay.
not hand spun. No, that's the yarn I bought on Etsy years and years ago. The dyer just kind of went out of business suddenly, and yeah. So I'm glad I finally found something that I can use this yarn for. It's great. This is a good pattern. It's well written, doesn't take a lot of yarn, and yeah. I will make it longer. I don't want another like crop top. I don't hate this though. I've got a t-shirt that works underneath it that's longer. It's fine. But
yeah, I actually bought a lot of t-shirts. Like apparently if you want, I don't know in Canada, but if you want long tank tops, H&M, do you have an H&M?
Yeah.
Okay, so H&M online has long tank tops, like longer than normal, so that they like cover your butt, so that when you wear crop tops and stuff like that, you still have your like waist covered. Because I found that I was buying like the ones from Target, and they would come like to here, and then they would slide up. Yeah. So just a little tidbit for all those sweater wearers that need a t-shirt underneath it. So what else you got?
What else do I have? Oh, my chartreuse sweater. So I was at a meeting at work and I knitted during the whole day meeting. So I got most of a sleeve done. I was at work. It's so weird to knit on fingering weight when you've been knitting on like worsted, right? It's like your fingers, you have to readjust. It's very bizarre. So I'm done the body. Right?
Wow.
And then I'm on the first sleeve. I'm not decreasing the sleeve. I'm going to just decrease at the ribbing. And I don't think it'll be poofy at all. I did that on another sweater. I can't remember when, not too long ago. And it was fine. Like it's not enough decreasing. Even if it did make a poof, that would be fine because that's the style now, right? There's all of these poofy
Yeah, it'll probably be like a poof from here, like here, where the wrist is. It'll probably.
Yeah, and it won't even be that much. I'll just.
Yeah.
So yeah, this is just like, you know, again, I'll probably get this one done. I get a little bit bored, you know, it's a lot of
stockinette.
Yeah. But I got most of this done during that meeting. Like I think I probably got like this much done during the meeting.
So nice. I don't have a job I can knit at.
No, well, I mean, this is not a regular thing, but it was a day-long meeting, and I knew that was in mind. So,
Well, I used to have one because when I was an air traffic controller in the military, you had like 2-hour breaks in between, so I could bring knitting and I could sit down and I could knit or whatever. But now,
yeah, you can't do that.
No.
Do you have anything else to show or talk about, or do you want me to keep going? Or
no, you keep going. I'm like, oh, I have a package. Look, I found a package of stitch markers.
Yeah,
this is the nerdy one.
Oh my gosh, so excited!
If anyone wants the nerdy set of stitch markers, the book nerd, just message me. It's right here.
You should
No,
do
I
an
have
Instagram. You should do an Instagram post.
Yeah, I'm actually thinking about that. I think I'm just gonna pull a bunch of them, like that. I have I have multiples of everything, and I think I have a list.
Yeah, I told you should do that. You don't need to wait for packaging, or you just do it like that. A lot of people do that on Instagram. Like some people don't even. They have like shops, and they'll just be like, "Here's this skein," or "Here's this skein." Like it doesn't have to be like an official shop update or shop or whatever.
Right.
So I have a finished spinning. So this was like finished spinning, number 1, the sweater. And then right now this is hobbledehoy. This spun up so fast, I don't even understand. I was in some
I need to spin.
This will be more of a fingering weight, I think. I don't know. I was so anxious to get back.
Wait a minute. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you. Is that the bat that you put up yesterday or whatever with the 2 hobbledehoy bats?
Yeah.
You finished spinning it?
Well, the green. I had already done the 2, like the post that I put had this one and then the 3rd bat of this.
Okay, so it's not like a whole 4 ounces.
This is the whole 4 ounces, but I had already done like 2/3.
Okay, I see. Okay, yeah. Sorry. Didn't mean to interrupt. I was like, damn, girl.
However, all of my crafting time has been on spinning, and this spun up. Like, I was like, how is this happening so fast? But I just really was itching to get back to like some thin spinning after doing this and the other one I'm going to show you. And I'm not necessarily getting them the weight that I want. They're coming out heavier than I want. Like this came out more of a bulky. So anyway, so this, and then this one was called, I mean, I don't know that it matters because she's not really making very much anymore, hobbledehoy.
No, she's not.
Houseplant, that's houseplant, and this is called lawn flamingo. So I'm going to apply those two together. Yeah. So this is pretty much the same green, but with some pink in it, some pink and orange, which is really cool. So I think that'll be really pretty. And I'm just spinning it thin, which is my favorite.
I'm trying to spin thinner.
Okay. You're trying to spin thinner.
I'm trying to spin thinner, yeah. But now it's been so long since I touched my spinning wheel, and I have Ain't It Fun by Knitty and Color on it. And now I don't even remember what whirl I used. And I'm like, oh my God. Oh. This is how I screwed up the first skein of Knitty and Color Ain't It Fun. Because this is the second time I'm doing it.
Did you, but have you changed your whirl? Like, wouldn't it just be wherever it's already set?
No, because I take the band off.
Oh, okay.
Just keep it from stretching.
Oh, got it. I'm not good like that.
I'm just gonna have to start writing it down or something.
Right. I keep thinking I should write down like what I've spun, you know, like a spinning card, and I never do it. And then I'm like, how much is this again? Let me go check my Instagram. So I try to at least take a picture of my like yardage measure thing with the yarn so that I at least have that somewhere. But I'm terrible.
I've been taking all of the ball bands from the vintage rose.
Yeah.
Like the ball bands I had when I dyed yarn, flipping them over and closing it around it. So when you come here, I'll give you a bunch of those. I have like a whole box and you can put it around your skein and write on it.
Yeah, but then I would actually have to use them. Like I could grab a piece of paper or Post-it note. I just don't.
No. You put it around the yarn and tape it. So it's like a ball band.
Right. I'd still have to take the time to do it.
Yeah.
It's a great idea, and thank you. I just don't know that I'll do it any more than you know what
Well,
I
on
mean?
Ravelry, on Ravelry,
That?
on Ravelry, there is a spot for spinning that you
Yes.
can put all your spinning stuff. I just don't
Yeah,
do
yeah,
it.
I've been trying to record them in there. Although, you know what I did, which was really stupid, because I always gravitate to the same colors, right? We've talked about this. Me doing green is like really nice because it's refreshing. But this yarn, I thought I had more than I have because I confused it with another handspun yarn, just based on like Ravelry, because they look so similar. And I was like,
Yeah.
oh, this one I only have like 200 and something yards, and the other one, which was a bit thinner, which was really more of a worsted, is like 300. Anyway, it's whatever. Yeah, so here's my thing that I've been following, right? I showed this the last time.
I need to get one of those.
Well, so this is the thing. I followed it while I was spinning my plies. I followed it for my worsted. I followed it for the sport weight that I'll show you. But the problem, I think, is that when I'm doing it, I'm pulling on it and applying it to the paper. But when you're not pulling on it, it might fluff up a bit more, and then it's actually thicker. So I'm not sure that, I don't know. I don't know if it's probably just me. So you remember that the faux cashmere?
Yeah.
Thinking of the word, the braids, the faux cashmere braids.
The wild rabbit.
There's something the hair, the wild hair.
Yeah, wild hair. Yeah.
I kept it. Yeah, here we go. I kept it near me.
The one that's synthetic, right?
Yeah, it's faux cashmere. I don't know what that means, but it's soft.
Yeah, Wild Hair Studios, right? Hold on, could bring that back a little bit. Yeah, that you can't read it. That's okay. Keep bringing it back. Keep bringing it backwards, backwards, backwards. There you go. Wild Hair Fiber Studio.
It's microfiber nylon. It says 100% microfiber nylons. So
is it slippery because it was so soft?
It's super soft. It was a dream to spin.
Really?
Yes, it was like so, like, because I find some of the bats that I have, because I've had them for so long, they're a bit compacted or they've curled back up into locks. like I had problems with this spinning because some of the fibers were compacted, but I had two. Can't show them to you now, but anyway, I had two of the fluorescent rainbow, and then two that were like black and dark blue with some pops of color, and I plied them separately, and then I spun them separately and plied them together. I have no idea how much yarn I have. It's still so wet. Pretty. It's still wet, but I have like two big skeins.
That is gorgeous. It says my name all over it. Rainbows.
But you know what, Vanessa? Like, it's very barber pulled. I don't know what it's gonna look like knitted up.
Yeah.
I have to figure out, here's the second one. It's screwed up one of these got screwed up while I was like
tying them together.
Scanning it up because because see here. Nice.
Yeah.
I have a mark on the middle, on the pole of my skein thing, and I have it marked for 2 yards. And then I was like, it's manual, right? So I'm like going like this, moving it around, and at some point I realized it had lowered. So what I had already skeined up at like a 2 yard circumference, diameter, or whatever, it lowered, and so all of those pieces were looser. But anyway, and then I couldn't put it back up because it had tightened up. But anyway, so I'm not sure that I got the sport weight with this, which is what I was aiming for. I'm gonna have to figure this out. It's not even, so I think I might have a little bit of sport-ish.
It's so pretty.
But some of it I think is probably more worsted, so it's gonna need a pattern that like this kind of has a loose fabric so that it's forgiving. I don't know. I don't know what I'm going to do with this. We'll see. Something will pop up. I also ended up not really having an even amount of ply for both, which is really weird because I thought
that happens to me all the time.
Yeah, I thought I mean, they were 2 braids of the same thing. I thought I was spinning pretty consistently, evenly. So, so I have a bit of one of them is just the fluorescent because I had extra of that and I applied it on itself. Anyway, I'll figure out what weight this is. I think it's just I don't know if you can see. It's just not completely even. So some parts are much thinner than others. So
that happens to me too, though.
Yeah, I'll have to figure out how much there is and see, because I don't know about making a shawl. I don't end up wearing my shawls that much.
I don't either. I love making them, but I don't know what to do with them. Like, I guess I should start giving to people. But they're mine. They're my little masterpieces.
Right? Yeah, I wear like my Carnival one. I have it at work. So sometimes when I get cold, I just wrap it around my shoulders. But I can't
do that. So I don't know, like, because I don't want them to get ruined.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
So I'm like, I have a drawer full of shawls that it's there. And one of them is hanging over the, my little chair right here. The hedgehog fibers one that I knit that's all rainbowy. It's just laying there. It looks pretty in my room.
There you go. So then other than that, because I was knitting this heavyweight, the worsted sweater, I was knitting on a 6mm needle, and I found that most of my stitch markers didn't fit.
What's a 6mm?
US 10.
10? Okay.
Yeah. So even with yours, like most of my stitch markers didn't fit, and so I also like with the metal ones. Yours are my favorite by far, but then I also really like this type with these ones.
Yeah. Well, also, do you know Coco Knits makes that watch with like the magnetic watch with all the stitch markers that magnetize to it?
No, I've never seen that.
Okay, this thing is awesome. So I'm going to promote her for a second, but because I love it. So it's a little watch band, and the face of it is magnetic, and it comes with, you could get a row counter. It's flat and it goes on it'll stick to the watch, and then you can click it, but you don't have to get that. The whole point is she makes different size rainbow round sealed coated stitch markers, and she makes them in the regular size, like to fit size 7, and then she has the penis ones, the one that look like penises that open, the little, you know what I'm talking about? They call them penis markers. Let me see if
really?
I have
I've never heard that. What is the name of what's her name again? I'm gonna look this up. What's the name of the company?
So it's Coco Knits. She doesn't say it, but here's I just buy the stitch markers. So here's the stitch markers. I hate to say it, these are my favorite. I mean, I could use my rings, but they're not colored. So, I'll show you. I do have another acquisition that I could show later, but I'm going to take these out real quick and I'm going to show you.
I'm looking up the website for Coco Knits because I'm curious.
Okay, so here's what they look like.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so my point of this is the regular size.
Do you like them? Like, do they slip well?
Yeah, I love them. Only when I don't want dangles. So I like my stitch markers, but sometimes like when you're knitting like a baby hat, all of the charms, like when you're decreasing, kind of get in the way. So I use those when I'm knitting like small things. And then I use my stitch markers when I'm knitting like sweaters and stuff. But she makes a jumbo size, and I have them, and they're downstairs, and it fits up to a size 15, I think.
Oh, okay. Well, that's good to know. So Coco knits.
You know, I bet if you go to her Instagram profile, there's probably a link.
Oh, I just went to her. Oh, interesting. I love like unique things.
Yeah, it's a little pricey, but I love it.
Oh, that's really cool.
And of course, the reason why things are pricey is because I see this a lot in the makeup industry. Like when makeup artists on YouTube develop their own line and they're not like a big company, it takes them, because they're like smaller quantity, it costs more for them to produce the product than it would like a large corporation. So like where Coco Knits is a small company, her stuff has to be more expensive because her manufacturing costs are more expensive.
You know what? People have to charge what they need to charge. And if it's too much for you, you don't buy it. But we can't make people wrong for charging what they need to charge. And you know, there are things at different price points for everything. And
well, I know that people complain about the price point, but you know, did you think of it? You know?
Exactly. If you don't like it, then buy something else. I mean, that's my opinion.
Bring somebody down.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, so I got these. There's surprisingly not that many people who make these, and especially with charms, I find a lot of them are like beads, you know, or like gemstones or whatever.
Yeah, I noticed that people weren't making my type of stitch markers.
Yeah. So this is Canadian, actually, Catalpa Cottage Crafts, Catalpa. Cottage Crafts. I don't know if you can see that.
Bring it back. Like back towards you. There you go. Yeah. Catalpa, what is it?
Catalpa, Catalpa Cottage Crafts. One of the few that I found on Etsy that makes these.
Teapot? Oh.
Yeah, this is a whole like, so there's a teapot, there's I think this is more of there's a kettle, there's a little teapot here. I got like a set of 5 and then added like these other 2. There's a cupcake, there's a croissant. I can't eat croissants anymore. There's a spoon, there's a little teacup, there's a tea bag, and a kettle and a teapot. It's really cute. It was really like not
they
expensive.
Are really cute.
Yeah.
So
this will fit on. Anyway, these kinds I like because they fit on any size really, unless you know I did see some that were listed as only fitting up to a certain size, so maybe the loops are made smaller. But anyway. So yeah, I'm very happy with these. I haven't actually used them because I had finished knitting this sweater when I got them, and I wanted to leave them on the thing to show you when I got them. So I'm really happy with
those
these.
Are super cute. I really like those. I want to see them in person.
So that's it for me.
Is that all you bought?
2 hours later. Yeah.
Okay.
So much like, you know, I have been obsessing about fiber, right? I keep messaging you with like fiber that I see, and I'm like obsessing. It's like I'm itching.
You want it all.
I know, but I have so much. There's really no need.
I know. I actually I asked my mom, I was like, do you want to go to the yarn store? And she was like, no, for what? Do you have enough yarn? And I was like, oh yeah, you're right. All right, so since we're on stitch markers, I'm going to show you the ones that I bought. I completely forgot I even bought these until I opened that little thing. So Have you heard of My Beloved Adoria?
No, maybe.
Okay.
I don't know.
These are her stitch markers. Okay. The type is a hook. Like here, let me see if I put this on here. Okay, so the type is a hook, like a latch. and it's Tamagotchi. Do you remember these from when we were little? Oh my God, I'm shaking.
You're 10 years younger than me, so.
But they're coming back. So anyways, it's a little Tamagotchi.
Yeah.
And then
I have no idea what that is.
it's a little toy. It's a little virtual pet toy.
Oh, okay.
I keep forgetting where my camera is. There's a TARDIS.
Oh, I like the TARDIS.
They had I think she still has it in her store, a TARDIS with a little wreath on it for Christmas.
So just to give you a reference point, I went to university. I graduated high school in 1990 and then went to university, and so it was the early 90s before we had a computer at home. So
These came out in the early 90s, but you were older. You graduated high school. That's probably why. Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. I was in university then. So when the world of computers and stuff, and then when we had our first computer at home, like I was still typing up my work on a typewriter until I realized I could copy and paste stuff. Then I moved to computers, but it wasn't the same sort of online world that it is now, right? So anyway,
I owned a computer until 2005. It took me a while. So I used to play with this when I was a little kid in the 80s. This is the little thing of water where you press the button.
Yeah. And you would
with the rings. So she made that one.
Almost like what am I looking for? When you go to the arcade, like a pinball machine, but it's almost like a pinball machine, but in a water thing, right?
And you make the little ring. There's like little sticks, and you make the rings float up and go on the sticks. Yeah, she put that out in the Tamagotchi, and I was like, oh my God. And then these I got for Halloween. So this is a Ouija board planchette.
Oh my God.
The Ouija board. And then I love Supernatural, the movie, or the TV show. So this is like the journal from Supernatural. It's got a little pentacle on it. And then this guy, you ever see Evil Dead or Army of Darkness? This is the Necronomicon.
Oh yeah, you sent me a picture of that. I think you showed that.
Yeah, it's the little Necronomicon. So she does a really good job. They're about $8 or $9 a piece.
Does she make the charms herself?
Yeah.
Okay.
She's
out of
extremely talented.
She makes them out of clay? Are they made out of clay?
Yeah,
or
they're probably out of clay.
Oh, okay.
She's really talented. She does amazing work. There's another one. I think it's called Sugar Tots Fiber. I think the problem with Sugar Tots Fiber, even though she makes amazing detailed stitch markers, I think she's UK based. So it's a little more expensive. I could be wrong, but I remember them being a little more expensive. And I wasn't sure if that was because exchange rate or, But anyways, and then my last thing that I got is I was at the yarn store for no reason. And there was nothing for me that I needed, but I saw this purple lavender.
Of course.
It's called Pop-Up Club. And it's this is the January colorway. This is Dream and Color Yarn. And every month they do a colorway. So this is January 2020. Is this beautiful purple. There she is.
So what you going to make with that, do you think?
A shawl.
Yeah. A shawl that you're not going to wear.
Or I could take all of my skeins of fingering weight that are all rainbow in different colors and knit them into a monster sweater.
Right?
I look so stupid with all the colors all mismatched.
No, I'm telling you, you don't like that, but I'm into doing that, right? But so there's a pattern I want to get called future knitting. I want to knit a sweater called, hang on a second. It's kind of like I think, no. So the So Faded ones are, I think, one yarn, one string at a time, right? But then you change them hang on a second. I'm not talking really well. The faded ones are like you alternate
You
as you're going.
alternate, and then it goes like you knit for a little bit in the solid color, and then you alternate and blend them in.
Yeah. So, but this sweater is done. Sorry, I'm trying to like log into my Ravelry with my tablet, which I haven't done since I changed the name. So I have to.
Oh my God. So sidetrack real quick. I forgot the computer. I have an iMac. I forgot the password to it, to the point where it completely locked me out of the entire computer. And I had to take it to the Apple store with the receipt, which thank God I have, because the only reason I kept it is because it was a business expense. So I filed it away because I needed a computer to do all the shipping, and I had it. But with the receipt from like 2 or 3 years ago, I went in there, they had to wipe the entire computer and erase it like it was brand new. I lost everything.
My God. Okay, so there's, let me see. Oh, there's a pattern called Le Pouf. Le Pouf sweater. Have you seen that on Instagram? No. LE_POUF. Le Pouf. And it is, I think there's a cardigan and a sweater option. So it's very much like the faded stuff, but it's knit. It's knit with holding sleeves. You're holding 2 at a time. Yeah, with the poof sleeves. And you're doing 2 yarns at a time, which creates that
look.
Yeah, 2 yarns held together. It's another kind of crop length, but of course you can adjust that to the length that you want. So I'm kind of thinking I might do this. Remember last year when I went to Maryland with you and I had like ordered stuff in the holidays and they were at your house? So I had like those 4 skeins that I meant to do like a gradient with. So I was thinking that might work. Might be a good pattern for those 4 skeins, especially since those first 2 in the gradient were very similar. So I might do that. But so maybe you can come up with something like that with your random skeins.
A lot of my skeins are like striped, speckled, so I don't know what it would look like in a sweater, but you know, maybe one day I'll have enough single skeins of like, you know, pink, purple, and blue, which I seem to always buy pink, purple, and blue, and then maybe I'll have enough to fade it.
Yeah, I've actually really I really want some lavender. I don't know why. When I was spinning this fluorescent stuff, some of the colors, like as they sort of spun, you know, they create these beautiful colors as they're, I know we've talked about this thing and I hear other people talking about how the color, when you're applying it, some people are worried about, what is it, how do they say it, like it washes out or it like melts together.
It models together.
Something. I've never had that experience. I find it just creates these really cool colors. So like even with this fluorescent, as it was spinning like the sort of into the blues and the purples, it would create this really beautiful, like, not lilac. Yeah, but I love a beautiful sort of bluish purple, like a light blue purple, which I think is kind of lavender, but not quite. I don't even know what the name of it is, but there's this,
like periwinkle.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, I love that, and every time I would see it as I was spinning, I was like, oh, I want that. But I think I have that. I'm gonna look. I decided to do my. I decided to work on some hobbledehoy, but I've got to go look at my stash, which is behind me in a big drawer. I think I have like I think I have fiber that will meet that color. So maybe that'll be
organize my stash. So who knows what we'll find, right?
Yeah. So yeah.
So I got nothing.
That's all right. Well, if you end up staying home more, you can do more spinning or finish that sweater. Who knows?
Yeah, I know. I'm trying to. It's just that it's It's just that it's sport weight, so it's taking me forever.
Oh, I meant to ask you something. So your stitch markers that you bought, how do you feel about the that kind of claw? Does it work well? Because normally the claws are used for like so that you can remove it while you're knitting, right? Like a sort of progress keeper.
Yeah,
I'd be
it's a
worried about
progress keeper.
snagging. Okay.
It does not snag. Somehow they don't snag. They're a little bit quirky to open, but they hang like where the opening and closing of the ring is, or the claw or clasp. It's a clasp.
Yeah.
Where it is like towards the
I love
bottom
that
of
you
the
and
stitch marker. I know. It's
word
like towards
child.
the bottom of the stitch markers. So like when you put it through, the seam is very well away from the actual stitch and it doesn't grab onto the rest of the sweater.
Oh, good. That's good. Cool. Well, that's funny that we both had stitch markers.
Yeah. I mean, like, I could show you like the new makeup palettes I got, but
Sure.
I bought like 5 of those. So those were like my acquisitions for this week.
Show me. I'm interested. Show me. Anybody
Okay.
who doesn't want to know about makeup can just tune out.
So I found out that there's a lot.
Oh, and by the way,
indie
can I just say something? We're not really good at this and like self-marketing and for this, like I do my energy work. I market really well for that. But with this, I think because it's just for us, it's like we're just doing this for fun. But we should probably, like most people do, say, hey, follow us, subscribe.
Oh,
share the video. Yes.
Really, please subscribe. We're not looking to get a
Yeah.
lot of followers, but we do want it's not about followers, it's about reaching the community and, giving them something different. So,
yeah, there's nothing wrong with having followers. I
yeah,
don't
like, I
mind.
don't care. Hey, if like 2 people are watching, I'm good. Because at least I'm doing it for 2 people. But it's so much fun just to talk. So.
Yeah, for sure. Anyway, and we're not like I don't update on Ravelry with the podcast. I probably should. Maybe I should make more of an effort to do that. We're just doing
it's
this
a lot
for
of
fun.
work. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I
anyway,
didn't realize that there were indie brands of makeup. Just like I only thought like, all the big brands in Ulta and MAC and like all of those. I didn't realize that there were so many like indie tiny brands of makeup. So my friend introduced me to this. This is Menagerie Cosmetics. Now, granted, everything I'm buying right now is purple because my hair is purple. But like, look at that.
Whoa, pretty.
Yeah. And it's got this little octopus on it. And I don't
So
know.
I'm curious, is it nice though? Because I've bought like cheap eyeshadow at our Marshalls or Winners. I don't know if you have those down. It's like a kind of TJ Maxx or whatever.
Look at that.
Very nice. I've bought eyeshadow. I bought eyeshadow Winners and Marshalls. Like sometimes they have like the big brands that are super on sale, but sometimes it's like these brands that I've never heard of, and they're so inexpensive. And I'm like, I like the colors, but then when I take it home, it's just so not. It's not a nice. Yeah, or it's not like a nice shadow. So have you how is that? Is it like a good quality?
It is so pigmented. It's beautiful. And then like I have this other one called Violet Voss, which is another like little indie brand. And it's Sweet Violets. And this one is very pigmented too. And just look at all those colors.
Wow. So where do you buy them?
Online. Just like knitting, like little indie brands. And then the one that I'm most like excited about is the Jaclyn Hill one. That one's easy to get. You could get that at like Ulta and or online at Morphe. And look at those.
Wow.
I like doing like sunset eyes and rainbow eyes and all stuff like that. So I have to say that I have not put on makeup this entire week that I've been off. I do not plan on putting on makeup for this quarantine. So it's going to be a little while.
I need to do my makeup when next time I go see you. We'll have to set aside some time. You can do my makeup.
Okay.
Yeah, because it'll be fun.
All right. So I love talking to you.
I know, me too.
And I love our podcast listeners. So thank you for tuning in and watching, and we'll see you next time.
Yeah, feel free to comment. I don't necessarily get the notifications, but I try to go in every now and then to see if we do get comments, and we don't get a lot, but I'm happy to like respond and have conversations and stuff like that. And we're both on Instagram, and yeah, we're always happy to hear back from people. So
Oh, speaking of, I totally forgot
yeah.
to mention this in the beginning of the podcast, but we have a new subscriber, and her name is Quilt Granny. So thank you, Quilt Granny, for subscribing, and we hope that we can bring you everything that you're looking for.
Yes, I want to be everything you're looking for.
All right, so I love you all. See you later.
Bye.
Bye, everyone.